ordinance.
Again, do whatever you feel you need to do.
That's what this one
There
need to do.
also is a law that you have to do what police ask you to do.
Unless
when we give you a lawful order, you got to do it.
But you have to cite it.
I don't have to cite it.
Yes, you do,
no,
ma'am.
I don't.
Well, then what would your cite arrest me with?
I just told you, disturbing the peace.
What ordinance or law is that?
Look it up.
Ma'am, you're the one
Look
citing it.
When I come back, and if you choose to continue, okay, and I come back and you choose to go to jail or deal with whatever consequences it is at that time.
Can I see your identification, please?
Have I broken a law?
I don't know, but people take things very seriously when it comes to human handcuffs.
Are you his supervisor?
I'm the supervisor.
Can I get your supervisor,
Turn around,
please?
Put your hands behind your back.
This is an illegal detainment.
You don't have the power of arrest. We do.
Who's in charge
So
here?
that's what I'm saying.
So you're threatening me with arrest because I'm not telling you my name.
We have power of arrest and you don't.
We do have
I'm
power.
just stating
So
a
why
fact.
bring up power of
That's
arrest?
a fact. You're the one bringing that on yourself.
Cass, who's in charge here?
Who's in charge here?
Who has higher
Supervisor?
rank? You're
What happens when a citizen uses their voice, literally, and law enforcement can't handle it? In this confrontation outside an abortion clinic, a man passionately protests, invoking his First Amendment rights. But instead of citing a single law, officers demand obedience, threaten arrest, and try to silence him with vague claims of disturbing the peace. The real question isn't how loud he is, it's how afraid they are of his message.
Exercising my First Amendment rights with a cone, yeah.
On a public sidewalk?
Yep.
Yeah, but when you're screaming and yelling, you're also disturbing the peace.
Well, it's my First Amendment right, ma'am.
To scream and yell?
To use my voice.
Yes.
You're
using your voice right now. I have an issue with that. But when you're screaming and yelling, when you're disturbing someone else's peace, that's when it becomes an issue.
Well, what ordinance am I violating, ma'am?
I just told you.
Well,
Disturbing the peace, you can look it up.
well, but, ma'am, I have freedom of speech to do this.
And no one's telling you that you can't say what you're saying. All I'm asking is for you not to scream and yell.
Well, ma'am, that is
absolutely right. If you're talking like we're talking right now, by all means, continue to say what you would like to say. I have no problem with that. It is when you scream and yell and you start to disturb someone else's peace that it becomes an issue.
Well, ma'am, that's the First Amendment protects my right to raise my voice so people can hear me. And I've been doing this out here alone.
I can hear you just fine at this
But they can't hear me, ma'am. That's why I had to raise my voice.
Okay.
Say somebody was about to commit suicide, and the only way of interceding is to protest what they're about to do loudly from a distance away.
But we don't allow people to hurt themselves.
Well, you're allowing babies to be murdered in here, ma'am.
Right.
You're allowing babies to be murdered in here. This is a crime scene.
I'm not allowing anybody
You're allowing babies to be murdered.
So obviously that's illegal.
Well,
It's a legal business.
So is Nazi Germany, ma'am.
Okay.
And
so I'm gonna just ask, because I'm not gonna get into this debate.
Okay.
Right? You have the way you feel. I have the way I feel. Has absolutely nothing to do with why I'm here. I'm just gonna ask that you please not scream and yell.
Okay.
Okay? Because again, that does become an issue with us because you are disturbing someone's peace. So that's all I'm gonna ask.
And if I don't comply with that?
Well, then I guess we'll have to cross that bridge when that occurs. Hopefully that's not the case. Because again, you have every right to be here. I know that. You have every right to say what you want to say.
Yes,
You're
ma'am.
absolutely right. I'm just asking that you not disturb the peace while you do that. I think that's fair.
I don't think it's fair to the babies being murdered in here. Their peace is being violently disturbed right now.
But again, that has nothing. That is your belief.
Ma'am, it's a fact. It's a fact.
It's a belief.
Okay,
Unfortunately, it is. But again, I don't want to go down that route because we're gonna.
Well, that's why you're here. That's why I'm here.
And again, I don't have an issue with that. I don't have an issue with you being here for those reasons. I'm just asking that you not scream and yell because you are disturbing.
And I'm going to politely decline because these babies need my voice. And unless you can give me an ordinance, a law that I'm.
The baby can't even hear you.
Well, hopefully their mom can hear me. Hopefully their mom can hear me, and their mom will choose to love the baby because she heard a preacher pleading for her baby's life. Right? A baby could be saved through my raising my voice. I'm gonna consider this officer, and I want to be respectful to you, right, Officer Minks, M-I-N-K-S, and your badge number 216, right? Badge number 216. Officer Minks, I want to be respectful to you because you deal with jerks, maybe a lot, BLM, Antifa. I don't want to be a jerk to you. I want to be respectful. That I don't think about this. Okay, you may not believe this, but I do as a Christian that not just people, but children are being murdered here. So for someone who believes that, what's worse, someone's temporary peace being disturbed because they hear a preacher raising his, not even using a megaphone, raising his voice, or a baby's life could be saved. Maybe 2 or 3 children or more children could be saved because I'm pleading for their lives, or mom hears me and walks out. What's more important, that they hear my voice and walk out and love their baby, or that this person's doesn't have their peace temporarily disturbed by just my raising my voice, exercising my First Amendment rights?
Just as you have your choice to be out
make a
there,
difference.
they have the choice to do whatever it is they choose to do.
And
So my
And
point is, you want to talk about
consequences to
being
follow those
respectful.
Yeah.
You're not being respectful, because being respectful, all I'm asking you is not to be loud. That's it.
And
That's it.
in respect
and by
for-
you respectfully declining, that's still not being respectful just because you're saying it in a nice way.
That is
I'm
being
asking you
Actually,
to do something, and
well-
you're
He's
still
being
refusing
honest
to
with
do
you
it.
in his conviction.
Ma'am,
It has nothing to do with being honest.
let me ask you this. If police die on the job every day, right? For all you know, you may die on the job today. I might die doing this today. We all have an appointed time to meet God. If someone came over here and was going to try to kill you as an officer, would you want me to do everything I possibly could to try and stop them? Still, scream at them, stop, or try to intervene. You'd want me to do that. These babies.
Legally.
Well, yeah, and this is legal for me to raise my voice and reach
Not
them.
when you're disturbing someone's peace. And just because I don't have the ordinance doesn't mean it doesn't exist. You have your handy dandy little phone.
You're
there
welcome
that
to
I'm
look it up,
sure
ma'am.
If I were to ask you the ordinance, you could pull it up and find it for me. Do the same thing with disturbing
Well, ma'am,
the peace.
that's you're saying that I'm disturbing the peace. You're welcome to look up the ordinance. You're saying that I'm.
And so are you.
Well, ma'am, I'm not the one.
I don't have to, because I'm.
Well, actually, you're a public servant. You serve me. You're a public servant. You serve the public, right?
Serve the community.
Yeah, and I'm part of the community. So are these babies, and
Babies
so
are not part of the community yet.
they are.
It's an opinion.
Actually, Kansas
It's an
law
opinion
affirms
that
that.
I'm not going to go down with.
Then
I'm not
that's-
going to go down that road with you.
Well, Kansas law affirms that they're part of the public. From the moment of fertilization, these are human beings.
Then
Kansas
it would be
statute.
illegal if that was the case, but it's not.
No, we affirm that humanity, but we also say it's okay to murder them, right? We know there's Kansas law statute 65-6732 affirms that these are human beings from the moment of fertilization. Even the Department of Health affirms these are human beings in the womb, but we allow them to be murdered. We are hypocrites and inconsistent in this country, but we recognize these are human beings. Everybody knows it, but they suppress the truth and unrighteousness. Romans chapter 1. And the First Amendment does allow you to disturb people's peace with your, they may not allow a megaphone in some cases, but I'm not using a megaphone. I'm raising
Why
my.
do you have it?
What's that?
Then why do you have the megaphone if you're not using it?
I know. I'm saying that.
I'm asking the question. Answer the question.
No, I don't have a megaphone with me. I'm using my voice.
It's in your hand.
I have a cone. This isn't a megaphone.
Okay,
But
then why do you have the cone?
to make my voice a little louder, so maybe.
So you're using it as a megaphone,
Well, it's
as
not-
you would use a megaphone.
Well, it's not.
Right?
It's like electronic amplification. I'm saying I'm not even using that. I'm using my voice with a
And
cone.
the megaphone, or the cone,
and
however
the
you would
First
like to
Amendment
say it. So,
and the First
I mean,
Amendment.
you just told me that you weren't using it, and now you're telling me that
No, I'm not using the megaphone. I'm using the
You
cone.
just said you were.
No.
Same thing.
Ma'am.
What does the cone do? It amplifies your voice. So
Yeah.
you're using it in the same manner that you would use an amp. A
megaphone is much louder. This is quieter than a megaphone.
You were
But
calling from this place?
I don't know who called. Someone
Yeah.
called and
Yeah.
said that you guys are being loud.
yeah, well, praise God, being loud for little babies being murdered,
Okay.
and you're not protecting
I've
them.
already told you, if we get another call, then we'll deal with whatever comes next.
Okay, well, you'll need to cite an ordinance that I'm violating.
Look it up.
Ma'am, you're the one bringing it up to me.
I am.
Please,
Right.
please do your job and look it up for me. ma'am.
I'm not going to look it up.
Okay, well then I'm not going to stop unless you give me an ordinance.
Again, do whatever you
Okay.
feel you need to do.
That's what- this is what I
There
need to do.
also is a law that you have to do what police ask you to do.
Unless-
when we give you
yeah.
a lawful
Yeah.
order, you got to do it.
But you have to cite it.
I
You
don't have to
yes,
cite it.
Yes, you do,
No, I
ma'am.
don't.
Well, then what would your cite arrest me with?
I just told you, disturbing the peace.
What ordinance or law is that?
Look it up.
Ma'am, you're the one
Look it up.
citing it.
When I come back, and if you choose to continue, okay,
Mm-hmm.
and I come back and you choose to go to jail or deal with whatever consequences it is at that time, I will give you the ordinance then. Okay?
After
Right now,
you cite me or arrest me or before?
we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see. But right now, I'm not going to give it to you. I don't have it with me, so I can't give it to you.
Oh,
All I'm
ma'am,
asking
I've had
is
police
that
out
you
here.
Stop yelling.
Well, I'm not going to stop raising my voice, ma'am.
Perfect.
You've yet to give me a law or ordinance that I need
But
to
I've
follow.
given you a lawful order to stop this.
No, that's your request. That's not law. Your request is not a law.
Again,
It is?
interpret it how you would like to interpret it.
Ma'am, you told me disturbing the peace. That is so broad. That's not a law or an ordinance.
But I
You have to cite it.
explained to you what your actions were doing that you're disturbing the peace.
Okay, well,
It's not broad. It's very
that's very broad,
specific.
ma'am. No, that's not specific,
listen,
ma'am. That's very broad.
I'll give you specific.
It's very broad.
Stop yelling and stop disturbing other people's peace.
Ma'am, my peace is being disturbed by these babies being murdered. My peace is
You
being
can
disturbed.
remove yourself
I
from here.
can't,
You
ma'am.
choose to be here.
Yeah, 'cause
This
babies
is
are being
choice.
murdered.
Okay,
Babies
so
are being
then
murdered.
The only reason that anything is disturbing you is because you're putting yourself in the situation.
Yeah, because Jesus
So
said to
that's
love your
a
neighbor
choice.
as yourself.
I'm not disputing it. It's a choice.
Yeah, and these babies don't have a choice as their skulls are being crushed, as their arms and legs are being torn off their
I'm
body.
not going to dispute that with you.
But you just don't want me to raise my voice so that their moms may choose to love their babies. Are we more concerned about someone's temporary
now,
peace being
yes.
disturbed
Yes.
than a baby being murdered?
Yes, because that's what I got called
Oh.
out here for.
So someone's temporary peace being disturbed is more valuable, more important than a baby's having his head cut off.
Today it is, because
Wow.
that's what I'm here for.
Would you say that in Nazi Germany?
Okay,
Someone's peace
I'm not
being
going to dispute anything else. So
Oh.
I've asked you, I've given you, you continue to do what you want, and we'll go from there, and
Okay.
it is what it is. So
Okay, well,
you guys have a good
please go look up the ordinance, ma'am, that you say I'm violating. Officer, real quick. Officer, may I talk to you for another? Officer? Ma'am, please call your supervisor if you're going to come back out here. I want to speak to your supervisor because you don't know the law. I want to speak to your supervisor.
Bob said he'll give you a call. He's not going to come out here, but he'll give you a call.
You're a supervisor?
Yep.
Okay.
So what's a name and number he can contact
You don't need my information, ma'am. I can answer questions. If you give me a law ordinance I've broken, you'll get my information. Until then,
You just said you wanted to talk to my boss, and I just
Yeah.
said he will call you. So
yes,
how
and you
am I
don't
going to
need.
have him call you if I don't have your name and a phone?
Hey, he can come out here.
He's not going to come out here. He said he
Okay.
will call you.
He's
But
not.
he's not going to come out here.
Okay, I'll give you my number. That's all you're gonna get though. It's 316-737-5967.
Can I get a first name?
Oh, Nicholas is my first name.
Huh?
Nicholas.
Here's your ordinance.
Okay. It's loud and it says unnecessary noise prohibited. Does that require a decibel meter reading, ma'am? Don't they have to measure that with a decibel meter? Ma'am, can you answer my question, please?
You do not have to have a decimal out here.
Actually, the law said, can you bring that over here real quick?
I'm telling you, I called and spoke with the prosecutor.
Okay.
You do not have to have a decimal for that, okay? If I can hear you inside, which
Yeah.
I can, okay, he can bring it over here. I've already spoke to
This-
someone.
this-
I already
this-
have the ordinance.
Okay.
I've already looked it up.
Let's look at, okay,
so
we got the ordinance
we
here.
have
Hold
I'm
on.
not going to
table.
dispute this. I'm
We
going
have
to
a
let you
table.
know, okay?
Well, can we answer? You're saying I'm guilty of committing a violating ordinance.
I can't
So
hear
what's
you.
There is a decibel measurement at a
There's
given
not-
time.
there's not.
Yes,
Okay,
there
please
is
listen,
right
ma'am.
here in
Please
subsection.
listen.
That's fine. We're not in. You're not in the same
03,
subsection
0.
that we're in. So
It's
okay.
yes. Okay. Well,
there
here we
are
go.
several
In
different subsections.
in
Either
C
way,
of the
I'm
very
just
one
going to
in-
let you know. I didn't even put the subsection on there.
you don't even care about your own law
So,
that you're.
because
not
I
even-
just
you're not even
read it.
listening.
I just read it.
Well,
I
we're
know
reading it here. Remember, we're
and
trying to
I
read it to
spoke
you.
to a prosecutor before I came out here and said anything to you.
Okay.
I wanted to make sure that what I said to you was correct, which is what I did.
Okay.
So I'm letting you know there does not have to be a decimal reading for this.
Ah, this says
That's
there
fine.
needs to be.
That's fine. So if
It
it
shall
goes
be
any
a
further-
defense to
Okay.
charges filed against pursuant
Okay.
to subsection of
So like
section
I said,
7
if they can hear you from
41.
inside,
Yeah.
okay, which I can hear you from inside.
Praise God. Praise God.
There you go.
He's
okay?
got 55 to 60
then go ahead.
decibels
Continue.
Yeah.
All
from
I'm
25
asking
feet away from him.
that you don't be so loud. And as a matter of fact, all he's asking is for you not to go down there. That's all he's asking for you to do.
Who's asking me to do that?
Just not scream. The
Okay.
business.
Okay, well, my
So-
First Amendment right gives me the right to do that.
Okay.
Legal-
Again,
every legal right.
please continue to do what you're doing. If you feel that that's your right, I
Yeah.
am telling you
You know it's my right.
what it is.
officer.
If I knew that that was your right, sir, I wouldn't be here.
I don't believe so.
And that's fine.
You know the
That's
First
fine.
Amendment, right?
That's fine. Nobody's taking your First
You're
Amendment.
trying.
away. Okay?
You're telling me to
I'm-
keep it down. I'm not going to.
Okay, and that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
Then again, deal with the consequences. It appears you have dealt with consequences before.
Yeah, I've
So this-
dealt with
you're
other
no-
cops
you're-
like
this
you who
is
don't
not
know
new to
respect the
you.
law. I have.
I do respect the law.
No, ma'am,
sir.
you're not respecting the First
I
Amendment right
am.
now.
Yes, I am.
So,
what does the First Amendment say that I'm not allowing you to do?
My freedom of speech. You're trying
Which
to suppress
I'm not
that.
asking you not to talk.
You told me I could not raise my voice, right?
I did.
You asked me.
To where the business,
That's freedom
to
of
where that it's
speech.
bothering the business, and we have a city ordinance.
Mom, you're
that
bothering me
says
right
different.
now. Are you breaking the law right now?
I wouldn't be
You're
here
bothering
if
me
you
right
weren't
now.
doing it. That's fine.
Babies are being bothered to death. That should
Again,
bother you even more.
I'm not going to
right?
dispute that. I'm not going to dispute that because that is not something for me. I can't do anything about it. If I could, then I would.
Okay,
This business would not be here. But unfortunately, this is the way it is.
Yeah, babies are being murdered and you're protecting the murderers. And I got to speak up for these children because you're not protecting.
And I'm not asking you not to.
Okay.
I'm not asking you not to do
Okay,
that.
I'm going to keep raising my voice then.
Okay.
Is there...
And again,
And
you know what I've said. I've given you the ordinance,
Okay.
okay? If it continues and they do call back, because I've heard you in there, I could hear you in there.
Praise God.
So I know that it is bothering the business.
Oh, praise
If they have
God.
to come back-
Bothering baby killers. Praise God. Ma'am, I do. Are you going to cite or arrest me if I continue? I do want to know that.
I'm not going to give you an answer, okay?
Well, just know you have to warn someone before you cite or arrest them. You have to warn them. And if you are, then I would, you need to warn me. But before that, I would request to speak to your supervisor.
Okay, and I told you he would call you.
Okay, he hasn't called me yet.
Okay, well, I haven't given him the message because I'm still out here tending to...
Okay, well, and I hope that you'll serve and protect my freedom of speech. You're not protecting these babies, but protect my freedom of speech. Well, earlier you were violating it. You were telling me to keep it down. And so please protect my freedom of speech. And I'm going to continue to do your job, officer, because you're not doing it. Stop murdering children! God says you shall not murder! You shall not murder! Love your baby mama! Love your baby father! Your baby needs you right now! Your baby needs you right now! Love your neighbor! Praise God.
The First Amendment isn't polite, it isn't quiet, and it sure as hell isn't optional. Whether you agree with this man or not, your rights don't come with a volume limit. When cops refuse to cite laws and instead issue threats, that's not law enforcement, it's control. Always know your rights, and never let them be silenced by someone hiding behind a badge. It began with a camera and a sidewalk, nothing more. No crime, no threats, just a journalist taking photos in public. But in Hibbing, Minnesota, that's apparently enough to trigger suspicion, detainment, and eventually a violent arrest. The officers couldn't cite a law. They couldn't name a crime, but they could sure slap on the cuffs. Welcome to America, where your rights depend on who's watching.
Hey, how you doing?
All right, yourself?
Good. Apparently the armory's all bent out of shape because you're taking pictures or something.
Can I get your name?
It's Sergeant Everett, Hibbing PD.
You have a badge number, Sergeant?
HI 108.
Thank you very much.
What's going on?
Exactly what you see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I ask, is there a specific reason for your...
Well, there's always a reason, but I'm not going to share it.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to be on my way. Have a good day.
You're going to stay here for a second.
Are you detaining me?
Yes.
For what reason?
H5 St. Louis? Apparently you are taking a call about a suspicious activity at the armory. I'm all with that mail. Because I would like to know what's going on. Now I've been very pleasant, I think, with you, and I'm asking you simple questions about what's going on. And you may have a very legitimate reason. Can you explain that to me? Or you don't care to explain that? Okay. Can I see your identification, please?
Have I broken a law?
I don't know, but
Okay.
people take things very seriously when it comes to public safety and military safety, and if you've been walking around the property photographing things, I don't think it's unreasonable for me to ask and find out what's going on. Now, you asked me a few questions when I got here for my name and badge number, and I was more than willing to provide that with you.
which I believe you're required to do.
Yep.
I'm not.
Well, if we have reason to believe you may be involved in criminal activity,
You
are
need a
required to
reasonable,
action.
articulable suspicion that I have, am, or am about to commit a crime to be able to detain
So
me.
what are you up
So
to?
what am I being detained for?
For identification purposes.
In order to ID me, I had to have broken a law.
H5 signals. Can I get another squad, please? You start a suspicious activity on 23rd Street in Brooklyn Drive, all with one male, verbally non-compliant. Okay, so here's the thing. You can tell me who you are, and I can have you on your way very easily, and you can
Here's
go
the
about
thing,
your
at this
business.
point in time, it's an illegal detainment because I have broken no law.
Okay.
I'm in the process of breaking no law, and I intend to break no law. You have no suspicions of any of those three. So therefore, you have no right to detain me or try to ID me.
That might be what you think,
That's what I know.
but you can tell me and I can get you on your way.
Am I being detained or am I
Yes.
free to go?
No, you are not free to go.
Okay. I exercise my right to remain silent.
Where do you live at?
Oh, I believe I just told you I'm exercising my right to remain
Set
silent.
your cameras down.
No.
You
I have
can
every right to
proceed.
record.
Okay. I'll tell you what I'm going to do right now, and you are going to follow my commands or you're going to go to jail. I'm going to detain you in handcuffs.
Are you his
by safety.
supervisor?
I'm the supervisor.
Can I get your
Turn
supervisor,
around,
please?
Put your hands behind your back.
This is an illegal detainment. Go to the ground. Put it down.
Comply.
I'm not resisting.
Resisting. Yes, you are.
I am not
Tense
at
your
all.
arms up.
Nothing is tense. I'm completely loose.
You got his arm behind his back?
Yep.
Okay, I'm coming back. Sure hope you didn't damage your cameras.
I sure hope you didn't. It's an illegal search. I do not consent to any searches or seizures of my person
Well,
or
you're under
property.
Arrest, so
Yep.
based on
Arrest
the
for
US
what?
Based on the U.S. Constitution, we have the right to search you under search incident to arrest.
What are you arresting me for?
Obstructing.
Obstructing what?
Legal process.
What legal process?
Information on a railroad arm malfunction.
I have one up here by the.
Flip them your way. Shut that off.
Please do not touch my stuff. Please do not touch
Well,
my
now you're
pockets
going
or
to
anything.
jail,
For
so
what?
obstructing.
Obstructing what? I broke no laws. You were investigating no nothing.
It's suspicious activity
And
when you're
what is that, a
photographing.
misdemeanor or a felony? Suspicious activity, a misdemeanor or a felony, Sergeant? Which one is it? You are now illegally searching my backpack.
Cameras or phones on. No.
This wasn't about safety, it was about power. The moment you ask, am I being detained, and they can't answer legally, the mask drops. You don't need to show ID unless you're suspected of a crime. That's not a loophole, that's the law. Stand firm, film everything, and know this. Illegal arrests aren't accidents. They're blueprints of tyranny. You're on public property, you've committed no crime, and yet the cops swarm, demanding your ID, your name, your surrender. No statute cited, no detainment declared, just ego wrapped in a badge trying to break your resolve. In this video, one man holds the line and refuses to be bullied into submission by officers who can't quote a single law.
Oh, there's a car going in there. How you doing?
I'm good, you.
I'm all right, brother.
Who are you?
Whoa. Who are you?
I'm Sergeant McNeely, Cleveland County Sheriff's Office.
I'm gonna step back. You really close to me, officer. Thank you.
I want to know who you are. You're looking in all of our vehicles.
I am,
Yeah. So we got a right to know who you are.
and I have a right to tell you. I don't want to tell you unless I've been legally convicted of a crime.
But you got some ID on you?
Why would you need ID?
Because I want to see who you are.
That's not how the law works, sir.
It does.
No, and this is not a stop and ID state. Can you tell me what crime I've committed?
What crime?
Yes.
You're looking at our patrol cars.
Is that breaking the law, or is that just you don't like it?
No, I want to know who you are.
But sir, that's not the law. That's a personal.
Who are
feeling.
you?
Why?
Did you ask me who I was earlier?
But you have to identify yourself because
So
you're law
do you.
enforcement. No, I don't. Not if I
Yes,
haven't
you
broken the
do.
law, sir. And you should know that. How long have you been on this job?
A long time.
A long time, and you should know that, officer.
Yeah, I do. So, you got any idea?
No, I don't.
You
I don't.
ain't gonna tell me who you are?
And I don't consent to any searches or seizures either. Not unless I've committed a crime, and I haven't committed one. And you should know that law, officer. Like, I'm surprised that you've been on this job and you don't know that law. I haven't committed a crime.
So you don't understand that we got more miles back than you got forward.
Yeah.
And,
So,
and
you're
and-
really.
and
I'm
the
gonna take a
first-
step back because y'all are
second
really
thing-
close and y'all have guns.
The
and I
second thing
don't.
is you're not going to tell us what we're going to end up doing and not doing.
No, I'm just.
You're on our property.
Yeah.
This is
You're looking
public
in our
property.
vehicles.
It's public property,
So,
and my tax
no,
dollars
this
pay
is
for this
sheriff's
vehicle,
office property.
And this is
belongs
public.
to the county. So if you want to take a picture with your phone, you can go out there on that sidewalk.
which is public. So, are you telling me that this isn't public property?
No, it's
So-
private. It's a private county property.
This is private
And
county
if
property.
we want to know who you are, then
Just-
we have a right to find out who you are.
Does tax dollars pay for this property?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, which means I have the right to be here.
You don't pay taxes, do you?
Yes.
Where you pay taxes? Where you work at?
Yeah.
Why?
I'm just asking. You
I
know
pay
where
taxes
you
here.
know where we work.
Because y'all are officers.
Exactly.
That's right.
Okay.
So,
So, can you see how this is in
so where do you
surplus
work?
here? Tell my attorney stay on, please. So,
Oh yeah, tell your attorney. Okay, tell your attorney. Who's your attorney?
My attorney's Mr.
so what
Paul
you're
Dean.
saying is, tax dollars pay for this, but I'm not allowed to be here.
That ain't got nothing to do with it.
No, well, no.
You're turning
That's what
around-
he just
you're
said.
turning around everything we just said.
That's what he just said,
We
officer.
said we have a right to investigate because you're on our property.
Can I have your name? Officer
No,
McNeely?
I can't.
Officer
You can't.
McNeely.
You're not gonna tell me your name.
Is that what you would tell the judge?
No, my name ain't. My name's not
Is-
Officer McNeil.
Is that what you would tell the judge?
Yes. Is that what you tell a judge?
I'm not in any.
No, you tell your attorney tell the judge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you tell attorney tell.
So,
Okay.
are y'all trying to intimidate me to tell y'all who I am?
No.
I haven't broken the law,
We're just finding out who you are.
I just want to know who you are.
We have a right to find out who you are.
but I have a
Am I
right to
gonna
say
be
no.
your friend?
Well, I don't need any more friends, sir. I got a really close
So why are you
family.
here?
Because I want
Yeah.
to take pictures and film. Because it's my constitutionally protected right of anything I can see.
So why don't you go over and take pictures?
Because I want to be over here.
Well, exactly. If
Uh,
we don't want you to be here, you don't have.
But see,
you're not gonna be
but
here.
then that's a personal request. That's a personal. It's not lawful. I haven't broken the law.
You
And
have
this,
no right to be here.
How
It's
not?
like me going to a call that I have no right to go to.
Yeah.
See, it works both
So-
ways. You just can't have your cake and eat it too.
this isn't my cake. This is I can
This
be
is you
here.
wanting to do what you want to do. Is what this is.
But if I haven't broken the law, what's wrong with that?
Okay, so I can go do whatever I want to.
If you haven't broken the law, you're free to go do whatever you want to do, and you should know
Really?
that. Y'all should know that. If
I
I'm
mean,
not breaking the
you
law,
should know that. You
what
should know,
hassle
you
am I
should know-
giving y'all?
You should know. You should be able to identify yourself to law enforcement.
If
officer.
I've broken the law, you can't just
It
walk
don't
up
matter
the.
if you broke the law
Yes,
or not,
it-
man. You making stuff up as
What's
you
the
go,
law?
man.
What's the stop and identify statute here?
What's the stop and identify?
Yes,
Act?
this isn't a stop and identify state. It's not. I know this.
It
I've been
don't
doing
have
this for a
to
long
be.
time.
Yeah, it don't have to be.
So
if
what
we,
you're
if
saying-
we're requesting information from you, you have to provide it.
If I don't give you my name,
In an ample-
are you taking me
in
to
an
jail?
ample professional
If I
time.
don't give you my name, are you taking me to jail?
Not
No,
necessarily.
we
Am
ain't
I
said
being-
nothing about jail. You're the one talking about jail.
I'm,
You're the
I'm
one-
just trying to
you're the
figure
one
out. I'm
saying-
trying to
you're
figure
the
out
one
my
wanting
safety
to
here because
try
y'all
to
can't.
make us-
You're trying to
Y'all
make
are
it harder
really
than what it
aggressive.
is.
and make
No,
it
it's
harder
not.
than it's got to be.
How's it? How am I making it hard? Y'all want to know my name?
Why
I
is it
don't
so
have
hard,
to tell
though?
you
Why-
because
what do you
I
have
just
to
don't.
hide?
I don't.
What do you have to hide? We
I
ain't
tell
got
you
nothing to
what.
hide.
I tell you what.
You got any
I
warrants
don't.
on you?
Tell me.
Do you suspect me having a warrant?
I don't know.
So can I ask you a question then?
All right, go ahead. Ask me.
Since it's not personal,
Hurry
I
up.
mean,
Hurry up.
since it's not legal, it's personal. Can I have your
It's
address?
not personal.
Can I have your address?
Can you have my
100
address?
Judge Place.
It's public
No, no,
record.
no, no, no.
My address is public record.
Okay, well I
I
can
ain't
get
got
it.
nothing to hide. You evidently
Why
have
don't you
something
tell
to
me?
hide.
I don't have anything to hide. It's just my
You got
right to
something
keep.
to hide.
It's just my right to withhold my information.
Mine too.
Okay then. So if you know that, why you ask me for my name and then get
Because
frustrated?
I
because I
want
want
to
to
know
tell
who
you?
you are.
In your name.
Can I
I
ask you a
just
que-
want to know.
You don't have the power of arrest. We do.
Who's in charge
So
here?
that's what I'm saying.
So you're threatening me with arrest because I'm not
No,
telling
I'm
you my
just saying
name.
we have power of arrest and you don't.
We do have
I'm
power.
just stating
So
a
why
fact.
bring up power of
That's
arrest?
a fact. You're the one bringing that on yourself.
Okay. Who's in charge here?
We both
Who's in
are.
charge here?
Who has higher
Supervisor.
rank? You're a supervisor.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question?
No.
Are you? Yo, what? Well, I'm going to. Are you detaining me?
No.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
See you now.
So as I was getting back to these officers here, y'all can try to intimidate someone else, please. Thank you. Oh, I will. Appreciate it, partner. Good luck. He said it would figure it out. That's how you handle these tyrant cops. That's all you got to do. Just stand your ground. And these jokers really thought I was gonna fold. They tried to tell me a whole bunch of lies with some legal ground behind it, and they were invalid. Invalid. And I look at them doing a walk of shame. Where are they? There they go. Look at them. Suckers.
This is how you shut tyrants down. Stay calm, know your rights, and never give in to fear. If they can't cite a law, they have no power over you. The badge doesn't make them right, it makes them accountable. Stand your ground, demand the law, and always walk away with your rights intact.